Truth Man here, Truth Man Short. The channel is the No Matrix, No Simping, All Subjects channel. On this super cold, brisk morning, I come to bring you more No Matrix content. No Matrix content. See, the Matrix is chaos. It's the world system minus the Most High God and His commandments, His instructions, His statutes. And I want to get into one of those things that go contrary to the Bible, and that's challenging another man's manhood. Now, the Bible says among the things that the Most High hates the most, hands to shed innocent blood. That's y'all dudes in places like Chicago, Milwaukee, Detroit, where an older dude can't even go to the store. Where guys be trying to turn their life around after getting out of prison and y'all trying them. Young dudes are notorious for this. Young dudes really should be trying to learn all they can from older dudes. But like, even when I was working at the prison/jail, I noticed that the young dudes was getting into some fights with the older dudes. Now, collectively, I saw a lot of younger guys getting out of those older guys' way, trying to show them respect. Now, they did used to say, Howard, can I switch my bunk, man? He be farting, man. He stank. About some of the older guys. But collectively, I would say they kind of respected him, but not at the levels that I believe they should have. Like, even if, like, no matter what a person does, man, you don't have to agree with what people do. We don't. I don't. You don't. But one of the ways that men stay on code with manhood is by not challenging another man's manhood. Even in the prison yard, it don't matter where you at, man. I'm telling you, this is what works. This is what works, because the way it works is you might think you picking on somebody, or you might think that you getting away with something, but somebody gonna do it to you one day. Somebody gonna do it to you one day. So the manly thing to do is not to challenge another man's manhood, to show all men proper respect. And if a dude did something, now, and there are exceptions. And everything ain't you challenging a man's manhood. If somebody did something to your cousin, and your cousin was like a peaceful, quiet kid, whatever, and you in prison, and they bring dude in there, and you poke him up, that you didn't challenge his manhood. He really challenged yours by doing something to your little cousin. Now, I'm not encouraging that kind of behavior, but I'm saying, like, those situations is not challenging. Challenging a person's manhood is when you say things you don't gotta say, and when you do things you don't gotta do. I'm gonna give you an example. What caused me to quit the other job? He was challenging my manhood. But here's the thing. This is how I can prove he was challenging my man. All he had to really say was, I don't like how you handled that situation. I'm the captain. It's on me. I'm telling you, you could do it like this. I would have been like, bet. And I would have got more aggressive. But here's the thing. I already is aggressive. I'm already aggressive. But there, I noticed they not aggressive like that. Like, kid you not, out of the 3 facilities, they are by far the least aggressive. And that's not nothing against nobody that's there. They doing it the way they teach them. They teach you not to be aggressive there. To only be aggressive when you need to be. I didn't need to be aggressive in that situation. Because I have another situation where they told me, hey, just get out of their way and just let them fight. Now, if you want to get on somebody, he should have been like, who told you that? And I would have told him, and he could have brought him in. He was there that day, and we could have talked about it. But instead, he wanted to challenge my manhood and think I'm just going to keep, man, I don't care about no damn job. Excuse my language. I'm a man. I got to survive either way. See, people don't think like me, and all y'all broads in her family, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it flat out. My family, her family, people that I work with, man, you recognize this. I don't care about no damn job. I look at it like I'm a man. I got to figure this out anyway. And I'm not finna limit myself to income from a job anyways. People been talking all this goofy stuff, man. And they ain't even paying your bills. And I'm going to show you something else. Just on subject, kind of off, kind of on. A lot of y'all women can't stand no relationship because of this right here. You always want to challenge somebody's manhood. And a real man is not going to keep letting you challenge his manhood. He's going to dump you or cheat on you. Really dump you, because if he cheating on you, then he's scared of losing you. So he not all the way being no man. But if you challenging a man's manhood, you really shouldn't be his woman. You trying to be a man. So he could have been like, I'm snapping and I'm backing you. Next time, do this. And I would have been like, cool. I would have went back up there, would have did my thing, would have did my little overtime on third shift, what I was forced to do. And I probably would still be there. But I'm not there because them dudes, and it wasn't like the majority of the staff was cool. But there was a couple of them, one of his sergeants and him, and a couple of them was just trying to challenge somebody's manhood. Like the one time they came in, they didn't realize when y'all came in, them dudes was mad at me for what I just told them. They tried to act like I ain't had no control. I told them, y'all not coming back in this day room. Y'all not getting back on these phones. And it was 7-something. And I said, and the bathroom is off limits for a little while too. Cause I knew they was all gonna try to run to the bathroom. And they was like, oh no, man, you can't do that, man. You can't do that. That's what happened. They ain't even asked me. They just came in there, you gotta have more control than that. But when I had control, they was letting them come to them. I had the grievance people. Oh, did you say this? Did you do this? All of my emails. They kept asking me about stuff that was going on. They didn't realize, and they have been working there longer than me, that those guys, if they can't punk you, their next move was to get you in trouble. But they should have knew that, because that's on all levels they do that. And so I said, man, I'm not finna work here. Not. One thing about me, when it comes to corrections, I don't like when somebody has the high-paying superior position and they getting brainwashed. That just lights my fire. I can do your job. I'm a respect you. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And they can't say I wasn't trying to respect them. But they just kept pushing. And I know it was some bull crap, because them chicks was not, dude. I told y'all, a woman was frantic on the radio because a dude was getting jumped by 4 dudes and they were whooping his ass. And he tried to downplay it. It's like for some reason he just wanted to challenge my manhood. Like he knew about that. He knew people didn't have a phone list. He just wanted to challenge my manhood. I think they just thought I was just this old dude that couldn't do nothing. But if I would have showed them, they would have been trying to lock me up. I don't got time to be in no jail, man. I ain't even trust them like that to be in there putting hands on them dudes. They was too petty. I know they would have tried to get me. I was not their favorite from day one. Like even in training, it was very noticeable. I wasn't their favorite. I could deal with that. Just don't challenge my manhood. Don't get too unfair. Don't try to make me an example and there's other people doing worse. I will quit. You're not finna make me an example when there's other people doing worse. I'll let you make me an example if I'm doing the worst. If I'm the best or one of the best and you trying to make me an example, you might as well just take me off your list. Take me off your roster. And I don't care. I mean, nothing against nobody in Arizona or nothing like that. But if they do what they did here, it's going to be the same thing. Let me do my job. Show me how you want me to do the job. And I will do it. And do not try to write me up for doing what you show me to do. That's how people be challenging people's manhood, man. That's all that is. And on these jobs, and period, one reason why people don't want to work these jobs is not because they don't want to work. It's because people be challenging people's manhood. And it's because it's like the stuff you got to go through to not even be able to get the things you want to get out of life. People be like, let me see what else I could do. These people be coming to work trying to take their frustrations out on other people. And then they be looking goofy when everybody quitting their job. I know now why people was quitting that job. I was hoping like, well, maybe, maybe this, maybe that. No, they quitting. They be challenging people's manhood. They be showing favoritism. They go easy on women. Listen, if you gonna pay women the same rate as men, then you gotta have the same expectation on them as men. It's only right. If I'm making 30 and she making 30, why you trying to keep coming at me? But then with her, you getting extra haircuts trying to impress her. And you think I can't see this ish? But every time I quit, oh, you shouldn't have quit that job. I can't be with no woman that can't see why I do what I do. Because when you got a woman, she's supposed to know your personality more than anything. But when they start wanting you to go contrary to who you are as a person, they being selfish. It's like they putting they self in front of you. And ain't no woman supposed to be doing that. You supposed to be, well, let's just, okay, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to XYZ. They don't do that. They want you to get emasculated and be a little punk so they can sit back comfortably. Not happening. But you got kids. So what? You're not supposed to be letting people challenge your manhood because then the Most High will start looking at you different. Like, so you think that you have to be there. Like, I'm not gonna do anything if you need it. Now, I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes he be moving a little slow. But I understand that he's in a whole different realm. If I could travel to it, it's 1,000 years away. I realize that. But he'll start looking at you different. And a lot of these guys, they think it's macho challenging another man's manhood, when real men gonna stay out of each other's way, and they gonna come together when it's time to make money or to do something recreational, like play basketball. If I was in prison, I would just want to work out and play basketball and be making my food, trading food, making money off of food like I saw some of them doing. I would not want to be in there fighting. Now, I'll fight in a heartbeat. If I got to fight, I'll fight. But I would not want to be in there fighting. I'd be like, man, we going to the gym today. And if they get to arguing too much, I'll try to stop the arguing. And if they keep arguing, I'll just go sit on to the side, do some push-ups or something. Be like, man, I quit. Y'all know me. Hey, listen, I'm not staying in no messy situation. Even if I was in prison playing basketball, if they keep arguing, I keep having to hold them back, be like, man, I quit. I'm going to go right off to the side. And they get to fighting, I'm just going to get in position. Whatever the position is they require you to be in to diffuse situations. That's just me. I'm not going to be going back and forth with the staff. Now, if they being unfair and they trying to blame something on me that I ain't do, that's different. That's why this one dude, his bunk was off in the back. He used to mind his own business, and I respected that about him because I already knew he was like one of the alpha dogs on the dorm. And so one time I thought it was him doing something, and he got kind of slick with me. But I ain't punish him or nothing because I was thinking of it like he probably didn't do it because that wasn't really his nature. Like he just mind his own business. And so I went back to the desk and was trying to figure out who was doing it. And me and him got pretty cool. Like for one, he was mad at me for the same reason they was mad at me. And he don't even use the phone. But like what I respected about him is he said stuff to my face. That's manly. Like, sometimes it ain't always manly the way they said, but he was saying stuff to my face. Like, he was like, man, we always, like I've been in the joint. We govern ourselves over the phone, blah, blah, blah. I never got mad at them for that. I always told them, man, this is what they want us to do. I ain't had no problem with them using the phone much as they want, as long as everybody got a chance. I didn't care. But this is what was going on. And this is another subtle way people challenge people's manhood. They used to try to make me not get along with those guys because I was new. Like, when I started getting along with them, it was always something. Like, they'll come in there and they'll do something or say something where, because they didn't want, what I believe it was, they never wanted to put respect on my name, for number one. They didn't want to acknowledge how much experience I had, not only in that county, but in general, other states. So they thought that I shouldn't, why do he get along with them? So they'll say stuff like, don't never get too comfortable around these. I'm like, dude, ain't nobody comfortable around them. But what you want me to be, uncomfortable? I've been in these environments. I grew up with dudes like this. I knew some of them dudes. We just was like, man, don't say nothing. We ain't gonna even say nothing. I'm not finna write no report every time I know somebody. I knew some of those dudes. But like, especially from other facilities. Like, I knew a lot of them. I watched some of them dudes grow up. But they wanted they basically wanted me not to get along with those guys because it makes the people they like look more credible. They didn't care about the women not getting along with them. That because it was a fashion show anyway with some of them. And that's another way. Another reason, y'all gotta realize, it was dudes at that place that was practically on pins and needles for how they was dealing with the women. Harassment. And so for him to come at me like that, the first thing I sat and thought about it, like, is he like taking a liking to the sergeant that came in first? Because she was beautiful. Or is he dealing with her? Is he taking a liking to her? She ain't had no problem getting in there. It was him. And I think they got tired of having to take people off my door. I'm like, what you want me to do? You want me to let them just run all over me? Not gonna happen. I know you wanted me not to get along with them. That was evident. But for me to let them run over me, that ain't gonna happen either. So I just want to use that as an example, a perfect example of what I'm talking about. But the streets would be a whole lot safer if men would just be men. I'm telling you. See, I'm finna show you something. This goes back to slavery days. Remember how they used to treat black men like children? And they even used to say it. They just like little children, can't do nothing on their own. Right? So why are we in black communities carrying on that foolishness? Foolish legacy. Can't do nothing on their own, just like little children. Because if we all was being men, it wouldn't be no ops. You'll be like, man, I ain't thinking about them. And they'll be like, man, I ain't thinking about them. Wouldn't be no such thing as ops. Cause you gonna be on grown man stuff. You gonna be on building your own empire. Building your own legacy. But you know what y'all do? You know how little boys look up to men? Y'all trying to be like them rappers. And where they at? A lot of them, they getting plucked. That's like a little boy looking up to a man. Y'all supposed to be putting some of them dudes out of business and making them change their whole tune. They getting paid and moving out of hoods and then talking about hood life stuff that they did 10 years prior. And y'all can't see. Why would white people, I'm finna show you something, and not just them. Why would they want to pay you to talk about hood life? And they don't never go to the hood. Never visit it. They even hate driving through it. That should be your red flag right there. And not just them, whoever, other races too. It's not always them. It's other people in high places too. That's depopulation. Increase in prison population. But people keep falling for it. Every year, somebody new. Every year. When y'all young, that's why they call y'all young adults. Because when you hit 15, 16, it's time for you to start making man decisions. And going to jail ain't one of them. I told y'all, I ain't never been to jail. Now, I got into some, I'm not saying I ain't never, but I give y'all the example of when they was gonna rob the pizza man. And I ain't gonna sit up here and say I wasn't stealing stuff and stuff. I was doing bad stuff too. I'm not no hypocrite, I can admit that. But it was a difference to me, the stuff that I knew was gonna have me in jail. I knew that they was going to jail. They's like, hey, DH, like Howard. We just say Howard. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, man, I ain't finna do that. Man, forget him, man. He's scared, man. I said, nah, I ain't scared. I'm smart. See y'all later. I think I had a basketball. Yeah, I think I had a basketball. And I just dribbled off. Came out the next day. Man, where everybody at? Said, man. He laughed. I ain't gonna say who it was because some of them probably be watching the channel. They'll get mad. Dude laughed. It's like, man, them niggas went to jail last night, man. They robbed a pizza man and left the boxes in the garbage. And he was laughing. I said, what? I kind of laughed. I said, man, that's messed up. And they was dealing with that for years. Years. Because some of them had already been getting in trouble and stuff. And that's, to this day, I think some of them be hating on me for that reason. Because they look at it like, man, he was doing something, he never went to jail, blah, blah, blah. And so they be hating. I'm telling you, man, I used to be, look, some stuff they was doing right on the block. I'll be like looking out the window like this. Look at these. Now I go right back to watching my stuff. I think, what was it? Nah, Beavis and Butthead wasn't out back then. For some of it, it was. Yeah, because look, some of the stuff that was going on, right? I had a job. I worked at a country club. And so when my father would come get me, it's like I, dapped them up and everything was going on, man. I'd be outside with them for a minute. I always used to look in their face. I knew when they was on dirt because my guys used to have a certain look. I'd be right in the house. Look out there like that. I wasn't finna, nah, man. You're gonna have to make up some stuff to get me in jail. You have to make up some stuff or I have to be super down on my luck. And even then, I'm gonna be looking to conquer, not get in trouble. So, you challenging a man's manhood by starting fights with him. You challenging a man's manhood by messing with his wife. Never challenge a man's manhood. You not gonna always win. You not invincible. You not God. So you can apply the common principle. Just don't challenge nobody's manhood. You challenge a man's manhood by doing stuff to his mama. You challenging a man's manhood by doing stuff to his sisters. You trying to slap his sisters around like he ain't gonna do nothing to you. A lot of y'all is little boys with years on you. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. I'm going by your behavior. You gotta become a man. You gotta stop doing that childish stuff, man. Remember how when we was in elementary school, you saw boys fighting girls? I'm not saying there's never a situation, because like y'all already know how I view this. If you fighting a dude and the girl try to help him, you fighting both of them. If you don't, like I said, I saw a video where a dude was really handling all those guys, but they was coming back on him because there was some girls trying to help them and he wouldn't do nothing to him. I would have took her and slung her across the street somewhere. I don't believe in that. Stay out of a man's way. These women be attacking men. That's challenging their manhood. Okay, let's get into how women challenge him, because this is for y'all too. Never challenge a man's manhood. You attacking a guy, hitting all on him, tearing up his belongings, you challenging his manhood. You calling him a bitch, you calling him names like he's soft or something, you challenging his manhood. And even if you're a mother, like my mother used to challenge mine, man, she used to call me all kind of names. And I took it. Because that's my mama. But she really shouldn't have even been doing that. And y'all shouldn't be doing that. I'll say something smart, she'll be like, shut up, you little punk. I'll be in the room like Rico, oh, so funny. Oh, that's the funniest skit, man. The one he did where I guess his auntie sent him to the room. He said, when they send you to the room because you ain't grown, he was in there under his breath, and how he pushed the door closed so they couldn't hear it slam. Man, that stuff, the reason why that skit is so funny is because I can relate to it, like, because I used to get dead like that as a kid. And I used to be in the room mad just like he was on the skit. That is too funny. But you challenge a man's manhood by trying to dominate him, by trying to control him. A lot of times these guys will cheat on you or they're going to dump you. They're going to dump you for the woman who respects their manhood. They're going to get with a woman that respect their manhood. Think about it. What I look like getting with somebody who don't respect me. And I know the real about how a woman is supposed to treat a man. You think I'm going to get with somebody that's disrespecting me? I wouldn't care if she had the snapper PU fill in the rest. Remember the movie Cinderella? I know y'all watch Cinemax After Dark. The snapper! Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all saw it. Some of y'all saw that movie. I wouldn't care if she had the snapper. You ain't finna disrespect me. These women be calling dudes out their name, all kind of stuff. Violating them. You pegging men. You ain't respecting his manhood. For you to even want to do that to a man says a lot. Some of y'all just twisted up in your heads. But he gonna do it to me? That's different. You stealing a man's stuff. You challenging his manhood. You trying to rob him or you robbing him. You challenging his manhood. Never challenge a man's manhood. Y'all need to man up, man. Why you gotta rob somebody? It ain't being broke, man. You just gotta fight your way through it. Why you robbing people? Because you challenging people manhood. You ain't being a man. You know why kids steal? Because to them it's fun. They want to get into mischief, chaos. And some of them because they ain't old enough to work. So what's y'all older dude's problem? Well, won't nobody hire me. Man, I'm going to tell you like this. If I was a felon, and every time I put that I'm a felon, nobody won't give me a job, guess what I'm going to do? I'm not putting that I was a felon. Hey, and what's the alternative? Go to jail again? You gonna have to dig for that, buddy. I'm not finna keep telling y'all and y'all holding that against me. They won't give me a job. Why? Because I be putting on there I'm a felon. Stop putting it. Put who you are now. Put who you are today. You did it. But if they want to hold it against you and not give you gainful employment, and guess what? No. A lot of them ain't gonna check anyways. Just don't do nothing else. And I'm gonna make a video where I'm talking about, I'm gonna get back into the money thing. And it's not gonna just be for guys that's fresh out of jail. It's gonna be for anybody that's trying to pick up the pieces. That's why my money videos can be applied by the rich and the poor. And we're gonna get back into it. If we get a long trek, we're gonna start making videos about that. But stop challenging each other manhood, man. Super challenging manhood is going to his house where he has to pay bills for fills and for sex. Gotta get you. She putting you in harm's way. Like even now, like I know we're done. But if a dude came to my house, now you challenging me. You trying to say I'm a little bitch and I'm going to show you I ain't. You don't never do that, man. That's why divorced women off limits. A lot of single mothers off limits. Because for one, these women too crazy for me to show them where I live. And they got too much baggage, too much stuff going for me to go to their house. I did that before. I kid y'all not, man. This is one of the reasons why I got mad, because even as a young man, I knew that was not right. I went to her house. And get this, that night, I was going back and forth. Back and forth. I went to the other one, smash. Then I went to her house, smash. And then I went back to the other one. And then the next day, she calls me up. And I started noticing, so I started asking questions. Like, yeah, how old is that little baby? How old is your baby? And so I started vetting. And I found out that she was married. I cussed her out, y'all. It's like, you put me in a situation like you had me in another man's house? I cussed her out. And I was disappointed too, because boy, she looked good. I had a body out of this world. And you already know the rest. I was like, I got off the phone like, dang, man. I called one of my guys up. I said, man, can you believe such and such was married? He said, what? I was like, never. I said, I don't believe in that, man. I said, I ain't finna mess with no man wife. He said, sure, I wouldn't care. I said, that's you. I don't believe in that, man. And to this day, I don't. Like, what? Sex is not even that important. I can jag. I can get another woman. For me to mess with a man's wife, you are a clown. You're a turd. Terrible human. Terrible. Horrible. You don't got this humanity thing down. Messing with dudes' wives. If y'all doing that, man, stop that, man. It ain't even that serious. It ain't even that serious. And y'all should know better. Because if think about it, you wouldn't want nobody to do that to you. What if she divorced him and he had to pay her all this money because of you? Clowns. Turd. Dookie turd. Smelly ones. You're a horrible human being. Get better. But I'm going to go. Don't be challenging man's manhood out here, man. I'm going to tell y'all something. If you could walk away from dudes just trying to challenge your manhood, do it. You can get away from women and do it, though. All you got to do is do them like this here.